ale and Aftercare, a visual novel about an inn that takes care of all your needs and desires, whatever that may be, whether it be a bowl of hot porridge or something a little more. But anyway, let's start a new game. Gordon has had plenty of heroes, but still wants more. But that's not a problem, really. When the need arises, there's always someone willing to step up. And hey, I can't complain, it's good for business. This here is the Aftercare Inn. This little inn and tavern I run with the help of my partner. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but that's not a problem. In fact, it's the whole point. Middle of nowhere is where all good adventures happen, and boy does everyone in the kingdom know it. Forbidden Woods are a couple of miles south, dead mountain towers in the north, butchering swamp is out west, and ways east is a vast ocean teeming with dangerous unknown creatures. In other words, the Aftercare Inn is the best and only place for the droves of aspiring adventurers to rest their heads. That's where I come in. Oh, and we get to pick what character we want. We can have a vagina or a penis, breasts or no breasts. Okay, with that, I'll do ma'am, I think. Okay, and we'll go by red shirt. And yeah, we're not going to keep the explicit content on because otherwise this video will get age restricted, because as you guys have probably gathered already, this is a sexual game. There's the odd sex scene in this, so just warning you now. Anyway, sure, we'll confirm that. My name is Richard. I provide a necessary service for 3 to all the adventuring parties in the kingdom. No matter how much one might love the adventuring lifestyle, they've still got to relax once in a while. Stress of life-threatening situations, the stiffness of sleeping on the ground every night, everyone needs some place to just be. Peace, warmth, and stress relief are what we offer at the Aftercare Inn. And in the middle of nowhere, that's always in demand. First evening. Hey Richard, not much of a rush tonight, huh? Well, more or less in demand. Yeah, it's a little slow, don't be too disappointed. Hey, less work means a happier Ren. Well, I'm well aware, trust me. Want anything? I'm, not hungry, but I could use an ale. One ale coming right up. This is Ren, my partner of, I don't even remember how long. They're always here to help shoulder the work of running this place. They take great joy in the labor, but they're supportive and always step up when they need to. And when they don't, they're all too happy to take advantage of the perks of sleeping with the innkeeper. Here you go, your usual. Thanks, as always. They take a long swig before taking a look around the sparsely populated tavern. Any interesting prospects so far? Take a curious glance around at the guests, but I always know the answer. Shake my head curtly. Nah, not so far. Ah, well, night is young. They toasted me with their cup before taking another pull. Oh, hello there. Greetings, innkeeper. A room for the night, and your finest ale, please. I'm suspiciously. Some of the weaponry look brand new, which could mean 2 very different things. Either he's a rich adventurer with something to celebrate, which is just a thing to pick up a slow night, or he's a kid who's never been in an actual fight his whole life, here to show off before going to get his ass kicked. I was assumed the former because it's better for business, even if the latter is more common. Will do. That's 2 silver for the room, and I've actually got a special ale here. last of its kind as far as I know, ruled by the monks on the foothills of Death Mountain before an eruption took out their monastery and brewery. They repelled, of course, but they never quite got the same taste. Once their ears are gone, they're gone for good. Ren pretends to take a sip and smokes it today. I know exactly what I'm doing. Learned long ago that these rich, showy types, that is what he is, are to be the last to ever have something. Makes them feel special, I guess. But I heard that I can't ask quite a lot of them, which makes them good for telling who is who in situations like this. Next bit is the important part. You can be the last to taste it for a good few gold pieces. I may as well have told this kid there was a man eating glagbies behind him. Face goes so white. Alright then, kid who's never seen combat. Confirmed. So much for a good night of business. Pulls himself together quickly enough and manages to backpedal a bit. Well, that sounds like a delight, but I think tonight I'll go with something a little more mundane. Big day tomorrow, after all. I got just the thing. 2 copper sound better to you? Doesn't let it show, but I can sense the relief in his exhale. Yes, that would be splendid. You have my gratitude, innkeeper. Call me Redshirt. And you are? Kiernan. You may not know it now, but you'll be hearing the name a lot more after today, believe me. I'm sure we will, just not the way you're thinking. Put on my best smile and humane. I'm sure I will. People like Kieran here are a regular fixture in this place. Adventurers are like celebrities in this kingdom. Since the 4 luminescent warriors defeated the fell dragon a few decades back. It's true, they had no shortage of dangerous work to be done, or even of evil schemes. Apocalyptic events like that don't come along all that often, thank the gods. But that doesn't stop hopefuls like Kyrian, and hundreds like him, from going out in search of them. I'm going to make a name for myself, just you see. Next time I'm here, you'll be begging for my autograph. Yeah, I'm sure we will. You just sounding out then? So the kid was just waiting for someone to ask him about himself. Of course he's one of those types as well. Yes, I'm on my way to the Forbidden Forest, and I'm coming prepared. He pulls out his sword from his sheath and holds it out over the bar. It's okay, it's actually gorgeous, and well made too. It has small jewels of all colours, sparkling like a rainbow in the pommel. Colours for magical spells, I would guess. Something that's genuinely beautiful, not just flashy or decorative. Must have a purpose. Kid can channel magic through his sword, he legitimately must have something to him. The blade itself is just pure steel, for it with such skill, I can see my reflection in it. It also has clearly never been used. So, you haven't seen battle yet? Well, no. I'm being taught by the best. By Sirius, impregnable blade master, trained me personally since I was a child. Yeah, I'm sure they did. My magical power is unparalleled. Trained me from a young age at the King's very own Magic Academy. This sword is forged by none other than the unfaltering hammer Bracken himself. Nothing but the best for a best slayer of my caliber. So I take it you're from the capital then. Cocky expression falters a bit at that. Not an entirely pleasant place for him, I take it. But once again, he quickly recovers. Indeed, I am. With all the entails, leagues ahead of all these jokesters. That last comment turns some heads in the tavern. Wish you wouldn't say stuff like that out loud. As he wants to get into his first fight a little early. So will draw the blood from many a beast. And the trophies. I'll have to hire someone to carry the spoils of my hunts. Perhaps I'll donate the head of a great beast to adorn your tavern walls. Going the beast hunter route, eh? Well, just be careful. far more experienced adventurers have lost their lives in those woods. Well, I appreciate your concern, but not to worry. No mere beast shall claim victory over me. They all say that until it happens. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Oops. Nothing, sorry. Rena's right. Just be careful. Training and fancy toys are just the first part of actual survivability. Inexperience. If you bite off more than you can chew, you die. Honestly, I want you to succeed. I need the business. At that, the kid laughs. Maybe I shouldn't have ended my little speech with a joke. I appreciate the concern, but seriously, I'll prove myself out there. I have to. Anyway, I'll take a meal up to my room. What do you have? Point to a board above my head. Menu's up there. Just let me know what you want and I'll have it brought to your room. Look at his face when he sees the menu board tells me he hadn't noticed it until I pointed it out. Oh god. Well, rip to you, I guess. So clearly this kid will be a master adventurer, just see if he comes back alive. Just me, Kieran. You want the porridge? A particular delight, is it? No, just the only thing anyone can stomach here. Hey, I hope you know I take great pride in my cooking. Every dish is made with love. Much rather be made with skill. Or taste. Trust me, Kieran. You want the porridge. Okay, sure. Porridge it is. Shoot Renegler. Then they just wink at me. Porridge then. Send it up to your room. Splendid. I'll wait it with great anticipation. At that, the great greenhorn takes his mug and disappears up the steps. Turn to the stove and start preparing his porridge. Great dish, because it's easy to make, and a terrible dish because it's boring as hell. You know, you don't have to tell every guest in the inn how bad my cooking is. Only the ones that I get to in time. Besides, doing us a favor. I want people to come back after all. People come back anyway. It's love. You know, from you, I actually believe that. They lean forward and give me a quick kiss on the cheek. Oblige them, then get back to preparing dinner for our new guest. I'm not worried about him though. Kieran, is a dime a dozen. I mean, I hope he'll be alright too, but his story's not exactly rare. Exactly. Often ends badly. Nothing I can do about it. Just hate to see it when it happens. This one's kinda cute too. He's not your type. I don't have a type. You know that. No, but you do have standards. One or two at least. Not being full of himself would be a great start. Not into shallow people. Alright, you got me. Still cute. He'll go home when he realizes adventuring is less glamorous and more dangerous than he thought. Like I said, dime a dozen. But I do appreciate how you care about his safety. That's the kind of thing I love about you. But didn't it seem kind of weird? I know, there was some nice stuff. That's for sure. But that sword actually Bracken's work? Kern wouldn't exactly be the first person to lie about that. Oh, it definitely was. I know his handiwork anywhere. I guess you would. Yeah, see what you're saying. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Might not have had the money for that monkey beer or whatever. Monks? Ren. It's a monastery ale. Whatever. Point being, he had money at some point. I don't know. Just seems like there's more going on there than he was letting on. Well, feel free to ask him when you bring him his meal. Pour the porridge into a bowl, pop a spoon in it, and set it on the bar in front of Ren. Ah, right. Work. Yep, I knew I kept you around for more than teasing me about my cooking. You love it. They don't need to wait for my response. They know it's not coming. They're right, of course, but I'll never admit it. Second evening. Oh, hello there. Oh, long time no see. Sure, Richard. What, like a week? Something like that. That's a long time for you. The usual? Yes, please. Oh, I mean, the room, meal, and drink, that is. I won't have time for the rest tonight. Oh, too bad. Been looking forward to it. Please don't do that. I'm fine, have it your way. One of a porridge and whiskey coming up. Perfect, thank you. One merchant tosses a bag of gold onto the counter. Sweep it over to my side without even checking. He always knows just what he's spending, and I never doubt it. So I toss him a room key, pour him a small glass of whiskey, and get to work on his porridge. Right, rooms are cleaned out. We should be good for the... Hey Marla, I feel like it's been a while. Marla finishes a brief but luxurious sip of liquor and shakes his head. You are as eccentric as ever. How is business? Well, you know, ordinary, I suppose. But come on, old man, you know what I'm asking. Really should know to human them by now, Marla. It's really nothing that exciting. I just keep smiling at him while I slide them a pint of ale. They don't break eye contact and they take their first sip. Fine. Went down to the ocean this time. Landed the boat with my wares and took out to the sea. And you know how much you hate that. What was going on that made you decide that was worth it? A big fat wad of nothing, turns out. A bunch of adventurers got it in their minds that Kraken would show up. Camped the shores for a week, waiting for the beast to turn up. Never did. Thankfully, they were just as willing to waste their money as their time, so it wasn't a complete bust. Still wish they'd just leave the damn ocean alone, though. Hate being out there. Takes a sip that somehow feels vindictive. Can you sip vindictively? That thing, if it is, Mama can definitely do it. What kinds of things do you even sell a bunch of seamen? So, amateur, sue me. That word would always be funny. Thankfully, Marla didn't notice my immature snickering, or maybe he's just used to it. Rations are warm clothes, mostly. Also fishing poles, too. You'd be surprised how many people head out there unprepared for the dangers of the open sea. Well, actually, I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised at all. Nope. Not in the absolute slightest. Marla chuckles and takes another sip of his booze. How long are you planning to stick around this time? Yeah, just a night. Need to rearrange my inventory and take off for the mountain tomorrow. Somebody has stumbled into a cave with a bunch of vengeful spirits inside. So of course a bunch of wannabe heroes are heading out that way. I'm willing to bet a lot of them need holy water and blessed weapons. It's just constant go with you, eh? Yeah, seems so. Hey Richard, save my seat for a sec. I'm taking my stuff up to my room. Poor guy. He's really gonna get home and see his kids. Are we at least gonna stay in his room tonight? Doesn't seem like it. He said he didn't have time. Stubborn old goat. Here's a break. Yeah, he's the same as he's always been. She'll come crawling back soon. Can't wait too long in his situation. True enough. Still though, I just worry about him. You and me both. But he's damn good at what he does. See why he keeps going. I just smile sadly at that. Continues nursing their drink. Eventually, Marla comes back down and takes a seat in front of the steaming bowl of porridge I had out for him. Thanks, Red Shirt. Appreciate it. Oh, hi. Eccentric researcher. Hey, still guy. Oh, yes, forget your name. That's fine. Remember the speed you sold me yesterday? Steel tip, oak pole, sold for 5 silver pieces to a regular guy with a spellbook and raggedy wizard stuff? Oh, yes, I believe I do. Cool, where'd he go? Scraggly wizard man? Yeah, him. Where'd he go? I can't say for sure, but the spirit tip was blessed, so probably where the ghostly events are happening in the mountains. Of course, blessed spear. That makes sense. I knew he'd be a good follow. He seems to know what he's doing. Okay, so I just need to... Young lady, I didn't catch your name. Alright then. I'll shrug and continue eating his porridge. It was weird. Who was that? Hell if I know. She's not the most communicative, if you couldn't tell. Some kind of researcher, I think. Run into her a few times, following adventurers around and grilling them about monsters and battles and such. She's studying something, I guess. Haven't paid that much attention. She certainly seems like a character. Down, boy. Give her my harshest glare. They know me too well. Time to change the subject. So, Mama, think you'll make it back to the city anytime soon? If you want to, I will. Just need to do some more things first. Write a letter tonight, sending it with more money. It's kind of you, let you know. I'd really rather not talk about it right now, Redshirt. Sorry, it's been a rough week. I need sleep. Well, I guess it will take more than that, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Here, help me clean up. Sure thing. Hey, it's third evening. Business seems to be finally picking up. Always good to trust Mother's senses on these things. Knows when an event is going to attract a lot of adventurers. Left early in the morning on his way to the haunted cave he was talking about. And as usual, when Malin decides it's worth going to a place, a rush follows. You can tell when people are on their way to something as specific as a haunting. Blessed weapons, holy water, at least one member of each group with an inconsolable fear of what they'll face. Ghost hunters tend to have a lot of weird magical tech with them too. No idea how any of that works. Point is, anyone who isn't part of the rush stands out like a sore thumb. Like this guy. Wow, this place is busier than I expected. Do you have any rooms left? Yep, I'm not out. There's 2 silver if you need one. Oh, thank the gods. It's only going right today. Yes, please, and something to drink, please. Thank you. Sits down at the bar, letting a large flat bag slip over his shoulder and onto the floor next to his seat. Can do. Want an ale? Yeah. You know what? Sure. I nod, take his coin, pour him a drink, and slide it over to him. He takes a sniff of the mug like he isn't sure if he should actually drink it. Then he downs the entire mug in one long pull. His face afterwards, it doesn't seem he enjoyed it. Not the, alcohol type, or alcoholic type. Not used to ale, or too used to finer stuff. Definitely not used to it. Yeah. Round the money on that one. Says just keeps wincing like a child who just snuck a sip of their parents' stash. Can't help but smile, but I managed to restrain the chuckle. Never let it be said that Redshirt has no self-control. Forgive me for saying, but you don't seem like the rest of these adventurers. Oh, I'm not at all. Honestly, this is the first time I've travelled this far outside my village alone. Looks around nervously as if taking stock of all the weaponry and equipment around him. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. No need to apologize. Mind if I ask your name? Oh, it's Yarn. Where's your village, Yarn? It's a ways northeast of here. It's over in the foothills of Death Mountain. Not quite to the ocean. It's really nice. I like it there. I'm the mayor, actually. That's why I'm going to the capital. Is something wrong? Yeah, just usual stuff, I guess, but there are more monsters than usual lately. More aggressive, too. Don't know what's going on, but we're just farmers, you know. We don't know how to defend the village from this kind of thing. People have died, crops are burned. Oh gods, Kingdom Guards aren't doing anything? That's the problem, there aren't any. Just a tiny village on the edge of the kingdom. Too far out from the capital to matter, I guess. Okay, no, that's not fair. I guess they don't need all that much protection. But just wildlife and stuff, you know. Farmers can handle wildlife. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I mean to dump all my problems on you. I'll take my drink and go out to my room. Hey, no, don't worry about it. I'm the innkeeper and bartender. People unload their frustrations on me all the time. It's like half my job. I'm used to it. But you said you headed to the capital? Yeah, to petition for aid. Hoping the king or whatever official they'll let me talk to at least will send some help. Yeah, one soldier would be a big help. Someone who can train and lend us defense in our town. It's like you really love your village. I do. I was born and raised there. Grew up tending fields, got to know everyone. Literally everyone. It's a very small town. Good place to raise a family. My husband and wife are taking care of the kids while I'm gone. Oh, you have kids? Yeah, 3. I just had another one a month ago, actually. Sounds like a handful. 2 kids and a newborn while you're running the whole village? Oh, it absolutely is. Having 3 of us to raise them helps. Plus, everyone in the village is there when we need them. Yes, I just love it. I want everyone to be safe. I can tell. Sounds like a lot of pressure. Really, really is. Wish I could fight myself, but waves his arm around in front of him to empathize the lack of meat on them. Motion is comical, but his eyes are still clouded with worry. What about adventurers? Are there people out and about that might be able to help? Adventurers don't care. There's nothing exciting enough happening near our village for them to bother. I've tried getting some to come there, but they don't like being tied down. Even offer them free room and board, own house, or stipend for food and leisure. No glory in a simple, life-protecting little village. Sorry, guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm sorry, I'm getting worked up again. I'm just so nervous about all of this. Like I said, listening to my customers' problems is part of the job. You just enjoy your ale and talk your heart out. Thanks, but I think that's enough for me tonight. I have a lot of practicing to do. This has to be perfect. Stands up grabbing his odd bag and turns towards the stairs before starting and turning back to me. Oh, sorry, but how late are you down here serving food? That depends, but usually around midnight or so. Alright, so I'll probably come down then for some food. Long night ahead of me. Don't worry about it. You've got a lot on your mind. I'm going out to your room. What do you want? Oh, are you sure? I wouldn't want to impose. Is there an extra fee for that, or? I said don't worry about it. You have enough to worry about as it is. So, what do you want? Looks up at the menu as though even this decision is too much pressure for him. So I pass over the options for a few seconds before he answers. I think I'll take the chicken and potatoes. Starts digging in his pockets and I hear the jingle of coins. Hey, how many times do I have to say it? Don't worry about it. Consider it part of your room fee. Thank you. Been very kind. Just an awkward little bow, then climbs the stairs up to the guest rooms. Poor guy. It's a lot of stress and worry for someone to have in their heart. On top of the pressure of travelling on his own for the first time. Small thing, but it feels big at the same time. Some yearn for travel and adventure, seeing all they can, going wherever they want. All these adventurers around all the time can be easy to forget anyone wants anything else. Plenty of others want security, solidity, belonging. Beyond has that, and just wants to keep it. Right now, that means living it for a time. The right thing, and he seems determined to see it through. But that doesn't make it easy. Take his dinner order on a piece of parchment, note the time I should start cooking it, and set it aside. Night comes and the rush of customers slowed to a trickle. We filled up about an hour ago and had to start sending people to set up camp around the inn. It's not ideal, but it's safer than camping out in the wilderness, and they have the tavern's facilities within walking distance. Now that things have calmed down, I finally have a chance to prepare Jan's meal. Oh, that's the chicken meal, right? Tell me which room they're in. I'll take it up. Oh, no, actually, I've got this one. Oh. Didn't know it was that kind of guest. What are they like? Well, no, it's not like that. Oh, don't lie to me. It's always like that. Make it sound like an insatiable dog and eat. Okay, fine, point conceded. But no, he's got a lot on his shoulders. He's really stressed. Take a proposition to the capital to get some protection for his little village. He's got kids and spouses there. Ah, so it's your paternal instincts. No offense, love, but those aren't usually too separate from your carnal ones. Fine, I see your point. But you said kids and spouses, so yeah, alright, I believe you. Unless... Scoop the last of the potatoes onto the plate, then grab a packet of silverware. It's all ready to go. I don't know, Ren. No grilling on his relationship status and sexual availability. Just saying, I want to check on him. Make sure he's alright. That's why I'm taking him this meal. Alright, well, I look forward to hearing how it goes. Wait, you didn't give him this meal for free, did you? Usually scoop up the plate and swing towards the stairs. We're gonna have a talk about the budget after this. They'll get over it. They always do. Climb the stairs to Jan's room and I hear him from outside the door. Can't quite make out what he's saying, but his voice is timid, disjointed. Confident I won't be interrupting anything, I knock 3 times on the door. Hey, Jan, I got your dinner. Oh, right, yes, alright, come in. Quite familiar with the rooms in this place, obviously, but every new guest transforms them. Usually in simple ways, of course, but always reflective of their personality. Some make use of the furniture for their belongings, while others leave it packed and take out only what they need at the moment. Some keep the room tidy, while leave more than a book and a floss to mark their presence. Others spread out without restraint. Others will rearrange the room to fit their needs. I've got some stories about outlandish room arrangements. I always like seeing what customers do with their rooms. It gives me a peek into who they are, or at least a peek into where they are at the moment, which in Jan's case seems to be a desolate land of chaos and disaster. Parchment and art supplies are strewn about the room, along with some thin boards wrapped in velium. Those that must have been what was in his strangely shaped bag. Hey, thanks for coming. Just set that. Wait, okay, hold on. He looks around the room frantically before hastily clearing some space on the table for the bowl I'm carrying. Right there, it's fine, thanks. I oblige. Seems so jittery. He was nervous before, but looks like the time since meeting him downstairs has not been kind. There you go, nice and hot for you. Go on, eat it. Looks like you need a quick break. Oh no, I couldn't. I need to stay focused. Sit down and eat that, or I'm taking it back downstairs with me. I know burnt out when I see it, Jan. Give yourself a minute. Gives me a worried look, and eyes the food hungrily. Then suspiciously, then he sighs. You're right, of course. Pulls up the room's chair and sits at the table in front of his dinner. Is everything going alright? Yeah, I mean, well, no, actually. Not at all. Just need to organize my thoughts on this, and make sure I present everything right. They need to know I'm not just asking frivolously. I'm trying to get it all put together, but I just can't seem to. Hasn't even touched his food yet, but he buries his head in his hands. Let something sit for a few moments until he speaks back up. Andrew usually helps me with this stuff. He's so great at it. Always knows how to listen while I ramble. Asked me to put it all into something more coherent. I was never as good at that. Communicate a little differently. I guess that's why she encouraged me to pursue Adrian. Maybe why she encouraged me to get an escort sometime while I'm in the city. I was nervously at that, so not entirely comfortable with the idea. Sounds like you got a loving family. Yeah, you got that right. Sometimes I feel like they give me so much more than I give them. They say that's not true, but it still feels true, I guess. I'm sure they're right. Besides, no one knew all a few hours. It's pretty clear to me that you give entirely too much of yourself for everyone there. And doesn't really respond to that. Just sits there while his dinner gets cold. Okay, I have an idea. Sit his bag on the bed to make room, and I sit down on it. Show me your presentation. Like, just do it right now. I couldn't. Need to get my notes together and write out these boards and hey, you don't need to do it perfectly. Not with me. Just talk it out. Practice on me. I'm sure we're going to be doing some practicing later, eh? Okay, sure. Okay, I'll just go then, I guess. Hello, Your Majesty, or I guess whoever you are. I don't know if the king himself will see me, or like a magistrate, or something. Whoever you are, thanks. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you, humbly request on you. My village needs protection from monsters. There's lots of them, and, more than usual. A lot more than a year ago, for instance. Way more. So we need farmers. I mean, no, soldiers, not farmers. We have plenty of farmers, so then what we need is, okay, I've seen enough. Okay, Jan, come on, sit with me a moment. Put the space next to my bed, and push his back forward to actually give him some room. Sits heavily next to me. I told you, useless. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that in front of the king, or whoever magistrate or something. Don't tease me, it's serious. Right, sorry, just trying to lighten the mood. It's okay, thanks. Look, I've seen this before. You just got the jitters. There was tension all built up and trying like hell to get out. It messes with you. That's not a problem. It's just a roadblock. Got everything you need in your head. Just need to get it out a little more smoothly. Do you meditate or something? How do you calm down when you need to? I was never really good at that. Don't know why. My brain just keeps bouncing off things and never sticks to any one thought. Nina and Andrin helped though. Figured me out, I guess. Without them around, I don't know. I just don't know how to stop worrying. Focus on this damn presentation. Has Brune always right about these things? Oh, Jan, I have an idea, if you're open to it. I'll hear anything at this point. Press my hand gently on his knee. Mention your wife wanting you to get an escort. Does that mean your marriage isn't exclusive? Pretty much. Says if we can love two people, we can love however many we. Are you... then it's... you're open for it? Just seem really tense, is all. I'm pretty good at relieving tension. No one still looks like a frightened animal, which I can't help but find amusing. As someone could marry two people, have sex with them regularly enough to have 3 babies, and be this flustered at a simple proposition. Adorable. Makes me want to push him onto this bed immediately. I restrain myself, till he swallows thickly and nods. Sure, I mean, yeah, that sounds nice. Smile and nod at him, then stand up and begin removing my clothes. Sit back and let the silence fill the room for the moment, waiting until he seems to have sufficiently recovered before asking. Okay, yeah, so probably cut out the explicit parts. But what the hell was that? Oh, still gonna see a naked form though, or at least half of it. Sits up and looks at me, his face in a mask of horror, but softens and rent when he sees the satisfied mirth of my own. Oh, I get a little, when I, finish. Sorry. Don't be, it's adorable. You're adorable. Lay my hand gently but firmly on his shoulder, look him in the eye. Go on, catch your breath. Take a couple minutes to collect your thoughts while I go down and pour some relaxing drinks. Then you're going to show me your presentation. You're going to convince me easily why your village needs soldiers. Tomorrow you're going to march right up to the king or whoever and do it even better. Just without the whole sex thing, you know. Unless they're in for it, into it, then... I mean, I still have a day or two of travel. I won't be presenting anything quite... See, there you go. Getting pedantic already. You got this. At that he smiles, more genuinely, and less anxiously than I'd seen him smile before. Flush him a grin in response, then walk out the door to pour us a couple of beers. Standing right at the tavern bar is a Ren. Sounds like you did a pretty good job in there. Not like that, huh? Oh, shut up. That's cute. But with that, I'm actually going to end it here before we get too carried away. Yeah, this is a nice little game. I quite like it. But I'm not into many games that like have sexual themes into them. It's still got a cute story going on. And maybe I might come back to this later, but if you guys want to see what happens next, and maybe even see the more explicit content of this game, the link will be down in the description below, and with that, we'll be moving on to the next game. Welcome to Red-Handed Robin, a visual novel about a thief who has done a successful robbery and has now boarded a train, but that train has one of their so-called best friends on it, and now they must make an escape plan. That's about all I know, but anyway, let's start a new game. Part 1. All aboard the Whirlwind Express, first ever train to connect the capital cities of Zephyr and Gales. Officially the most luxurious train in the world, no expense was spared on this groundbreaking maiden voyage. One of our private luxury cabins, you'll be travelling in style as we make history on this cross-country trip. I read the ticket as I waited anxiously in the boarding line. Beside me, my travelling companion spoke in a hushed voice so as not to be overheard. There's blood on it. Would that be suspicious? Jay, do you see the people in this queue? Very much doubt the ticket taker wants to cause fuss with some of the wealthiest people in the country. Probably wouldn't even notice. I was partly trying to convince myself. Jay had a point. Bloodstained ticket was bound to draw at least some attention when the clientele was this important. When they check our names, needed to whisper, but it wasn't really necessary. One of us, all clad in all fur, was loudly admonishing an attendant who was trying to shepherd 5 excited dogs aboard. It was causing quite a scene. I don't think so. There's no name on the ticket. Just relax and act like you belong here. After many angry threats and the calling of a manager, the attendant was replaced with someone else. The woman entering the train, pets and two, and our turn finally came. The attendant called us forward and held out his hand. With as much flippant confidence as I could muster, turned the ticket over to him. The ticket through once over, saw his eyes linger on the splotch of bread. Much for him not noticing. Is this blood? Yes, I got a paper cut. Oh yes, that is indeed blood, but you don't need to concern yourself over it. Companion here and I were taking care of some business earlier, and well, go on Jay, show him. Jay obligingly rolls up his sleeve, showing off a nasty scar. There, you see, bloodstains are a bit of an occupational hazard when you work for the family. The family? Oh yes, I'm sure I don't need to tell you which one. Jay pulls his sleeve back and glared at the attendant, which really helped tell the story. He's probably just sending all his anger towards me. Back at this poor attendant. Probably wasn't even intentional. Just tended to glare a lot. Yeah, we get that. Right. Scar was far too old to have been caused recently, but the attendant was suitably intimidated anyway. Everyone seems to be in order here. He handed the ticket back to me with fumbling hands. Please wait to be here for a moment. Another attendant will be by shortly to escort you to your personal cabin. Two of us left the queue and moved to where the man had indicated. Under his breath, Jay started using his usual nagging. You always give too much information. A simple yes or no has sufficed. I mean, I was given a simple yes or no, but our main character here just decided to embellish it a little. I scoffed. Mine is like telling a story. Our crafted lie becomes believable precisely because of all the little details. Did you have to come up with that yourself? Would you believe me if I said I did? It certainly sounded pretentious enough. Regardless, I'd appreciate being left out of your stories. I was quick on my feet as you. Oh, but it's so fun to watch you squirm. Another attendant approached and waved us to board. Just as we were about to step on a platform, however, I carelessly crossed our path, nearly colliding with Jay. Are you right, sir? I'm so sorry. It's fine. Oh, are you sure? I'd hate to have caused injury to someone in the family. I beg your pardon? They're really the family? I thought I was just making things up. Forgive me. I overheard you talking to the attendant. I only meant that it was an honest mistake. And I hope the family wouldn't slide. Something about this man was setting off alarm bells in my head. Was he intentionally eavesdropping? Why does he feel so nostalgic? Miss? Bothering us. Move. Yes, of course. My apologies. Corgi stepped out of the way with a small bow. Motioned for us to board ahead of him. After you, my lady. Try to keep my composure as a realization hits me. I have to get away from it and think. Yes, well, let's get going then, Jay. Attendant, who had been looking on awkwardly, jumped back into action. Can I take your luggage for you? Jay tightened his grip on our cases and didn't answer. Oh, that's quite alright. My companion here is more than capable. Very well. This way, if you please. Once inside, I could see the whirlwind was truly a marvel. Well, as far as though we weren't on a train at all. In my cabin looked like something out of a luxury hotel. This was a giant leap above the lodgings we had grown used to after travelling undercover for the last few days. Is that a full-sized bed? These people are ridiculous. What's wrong with a normal passenger compartment? I wonder how much these tickets cost. The bed was indeed large and inviting. Wanted nothing more than dive in and try it out, but there were more pressing matters to attend to. Jay, that man on the platform, I think I know him. Jay stiffened and I could see him immediately assume his professional mentality. How? I used to work for my family when I was a child. We were quite close, actually. That is, until... Choose my words carefully. Jay didn't need to know the details. What were you saying about loving to do little details and stories and whatnot before? Until he was let go. Must have been around 10 or so. Never saw him again after that. Put his hand on his chin and he begins to pace. That would have been, what, over a decade ago? You're trying to guess my age? How rude. Continued to pace without answering. Clearly he wasn't in the mood for playful banter. The platform had called me my lady. That's how all the servants referred to me. I'm almost certain that was him. Jay stopped in his tracks and thought a moment. He swiftly grabbed our luggage and headed for the cabin door. What are you doing? This is too dangerous. Someone recognized you, we need to leave. Now. I thought this is how he would react. I didn't consider not telling him at all, but being recognized was dangerous for both of us. It would have even been worse to keep him in the dark. Not leaving. Excuse me? You can't leave. You said yourself. After what we've done, it's not safe for us in Aftercare anymore. By an enormous stroke of luck, we found ourselves on the fastest way out of the country. This is literally our ticket to freedom. Jay stood frozen in the doorway, considering his options. I went to let you go ahead. I got on perfectly fine by myself before you started following me around like some lost puppy. I seemed to wake him up. He turned on his heel and glared at me, incredulous. Perfectly fine? You call that perfectly fine? If it weren't for me, you'd be dead and buried in that perverted psychopath's garden. Just getting annoyed now. Time to start pushing some buttons. If it weren't for me, you'd be the one holding the shovel. Well, prioritize what you want. To go back to some perverted psychopaths, in their victim for them, digging their graves. Looked like he was about to say something particularly nasty, but was stopped short by a loud whistle. Well, too late now. Can't back out now. Train lurched forward and began to gather speed. Well, I suppose that's settled then. Yeah, skip past something. Shit. He slammed the luggage down and stormed over to me. Then, so his face was inches from mine. You're an infuriating woman. Do you know that? I think I'm beginning to understand why that bastard wanted to murder you, even before he found out you were robbing him blind. I do seem to attract a murderous type. Maybe I just have one of those faces. Is that a shot at me? How are you conceding that you're attracted to me after all? You're too much trouble. He sighed, resigning himself to his fate. I need a drink. Surely they would allow their esteemed passengers to go without alcohol for a while, whole 48 hours. Finally removing himself from my personal space, he begins rifling through drawers and cabinets. Thought the issue was settled, but apparently Jay wasn't satisfied, as his search of the lecture continued. What's the likelihood that the man from the platform recognized you in return? Am I a psychic? How'd I possibly know that? Make a guess then. Truth, it was extremely likely that he would have recognized me. It looked like we were strangers. Could I be wrong? Like you said, it's been over a decade since we've seen each other. So it was a decade. Over a decade? So that would make you at least... Now who's infuriating? Didn't your mother ever teach you how to treat a lady? You scoffed at that. Only how to do their dirty work. How's she gonna fill in the gaps for me? Are you flirting? I didn't think you were capable. Ah, there we go. Open the cabinet door wide, revealed a collection of colourful bottles. Drew the particularly dull one and poured its contents into 2 glasses. He recognized me, and I think he would have said something. He gave a slight pause, but quickly recovered and handed me one of the drinks. Had a thing for you then, did he? But he didn't remember you. So it must have been you who had a thing for him. He swallowed the liquid in the glass, trying to look uninterested. Say you're not attracted to me. Now who's the liar? I'm tired of this conversation. Let's talk about something else. Being rather annoyed by this line of questioning, I took a sip from my drink as well. But what is this? It's awful. He smoked and down the rest of his own. Does not suit the lady's delicate palate. But she ought to run back to her daddy's mansion and drink only the finest wines instead. You picked this one to tease me then. It is best to maintain his austere facade, but sometimes someone more playful would peer through the cracks. Fine, I'll drink it. If this is the kind of thing you like, I shall try to lower myself to your level. Well, the cut to my lip and hesitated. It really was disgusting. I don't want to lose to this brute. Closed my eyes, and just as I was about to tilt the glass back, I felt a hand of mine. If I find it so distasteful, allow me to do it for you. I my gaze, and with both of us still clutching the glass, he drank down every last drop. Put away and wiped his mouth, leaving me holding the empty cup. It was an interesting face you were making. Should I have let you to try it? How do I put it? Lower yourself to my level? You barely gave me a chance. Afraid of losing to a girl? Just thirsty. Thirsty is one way of putting it, my dude. Knock on the door jolted us from our little game and back to reality. Yes, you may enter. Train attendant opened the door and bowed. Sir, ma'am, dinner will be served shortly. If you wish, please make your way to one of the dining cars. He bowed again, turned on his heel and left. A shiver of anticipation ran up my back. Time to have some fun. Come, Jay, our audience awaits. Let's not disappoint them. Jay rolled his eyes and went to grab his jacket. I swiped past him and through the door of the cabin. Behind me, though, thunk. I turned to look at it for the source of the sound, but there was only Jay. Are you good? Rubbing a red mark on his face. One still on the doorknob. Did you just... in that second drink now? God, are you drunk already, my dude? God, how strong was that stuff? That's cute. That's what you get for being a show-off. Acting as doing nothing had happened, Jay pushed past and into the hallway. For a second I was kind of worried that maybe the drinks had been laced or something, and he just full on died on us. This was still red, though whether it was from embarrassment or the alcohol, I couldn't say. Let's go. Being late will draw undue attention. Of course, we wouldn't want that. Followed after him. We went for the countryside, quickly passing by out the window. We could be forgiven for thinking they were in a very narrow house, rather than on the world's most expensive train. After dinner, we made our way to one of the lounge cars. I kept a sharp lookout for the man who spoke to us on the platform, but he was nowhere to be found. Maybe he didn't even get on the train. He had been a servant in our household when I'd known him. Couldn't imagine he made enough money to fit in with this crowd. Decided not to worry about it. Continued to politely chat with the group that had gathered in the lounge. Man with mustache. Very, very marvelous mustache. Funny. Thought of the word for it. Personally, I'm hoping to find a real nice rug in Gales. How collect you see? A balding man. Good God, enough about these rugs. It's always rugs with you. No one wants to hear about the rugs. Just because you're not interested in them doesn't mean others aren't. Rugs have a rich history. What do you think, Miss Robin? Do you enjoy a good rug? Next to me, Jay snored in his cup. Gave him a sharp kick in the shin under the table. Keep it together, let's not embarrass our potential marks. I can't say I know much about them, to be honest. Perhaps you can enlighten me later. A change of subject might be in order for the time being. Friend appears to be getting quite frustrated. Usual was quite popular with my travelling companions. A young and, dare I say, beautiful woman such as myself could always find someone to talk to. Having an amiable personality came in handy for gathering information. Yes, of course. You're so courteous, Miss Robin. A lady must learn to delicate in all things. A deep-voiced woman. Well said, my dear. Do tell me, have you been to Gales before? Sure I've been there. Yes, I've been many times. It's a lovely country. Really? Do you know of any good places to visit? My first time, and I want to make sure I see all the best Gales has to offer. Afraid I was visiting the rather isolated northern mountain region. Never been to the capital myself. Tried to remember my geography lesson. Mountains were in the north, right? Mountains? Really? Must have been very peaceful. It was. The view from the peaks was simply breathtaking. An express train from the capital to capital is a genius idea. So spacious and elegant. A woman with a monocle. It certainly should be. The tickets only cost an arm and a leg. I'm glad for that, though. It's nice not to have to worry about some of the things I might have to on a more public train. I had to know nothing to say to that, so I smiled pleasantly. I think only poor people are capable of doing bad things. You must be very privileged indeed. Say travel broadens the mind. I'm travelling for business, so I hope it broadens my pockets as well. What is it you do, Miss Robin? I own a business. I'm a self-made woman. Started a company that makes shoes for dogs, and the rest is history. I have a single boutique in Sophia at the moment, but one of the reasons for this trip is to scope out a possible second location. Shoes for dogs? Intriguing. I'd love to pick some up for my dear Biscuit. That's my idea, Miss Robin. You seem to have a good business sense. I've been blessed with many talents. What about you, handsome? What's your vocation? Guess he's not the type to, be used to having attention on him. Slightest glance at me, Jake gave the vague answer we agreed upon earlier. Protection. Untinted at that. Protection? How mysterious. It can't be right. You're much too pretty for such work. I'd been pushed out of the conversation by these two women. The other men at the table had long since left. Jay was at their mercy, and it was clear he didn't like the attention. He is pretty, isn't he? I assure you he's very reliable. Good looking and capable. Don't usually find that. You're quite lucky, Miss Robin. Surely you intend to lock him away, Robin. You don't. Some other woman is likely to steal him right from under your nose. Or man, maybe. How'd you like to come work with me, love? Pay you twice as much for half the effort? I don't think so. Woman laughed. Man, a few words, I like the strong, silent type. Have you thought about getting rid of your eyeglasses? You look even more dashing without them. I'm sure you look even more dashing without them on too. I need them to see. No, I disagree completely. Add to his character. Eyeglasses hint at a hidden vulnerability. What do you say, glasses? Am I right? Are you hiding a tender side behind that somber exterior? I assure you, if I was trying to be symbolic, I wouldn't have chosen something so inconvenient. I need them to see. Watching Jay deal with this woman was extremely amusing, but he was quickly losing his temper. Just by his sarcasm as well. Are you sure I can't tempt you away, my dear? Come now, let's not be naive. Clearly Miss Robin and this gentleman already have some kind of arrangement. I doubt he'd easily part with her. It's obvious they were fishing for the nature of our relationship, but Jay wasn't likely to bite. Better rescue him. I need to move this conversation along. Yeah, we're lovers. No, here's my brother. That'd probably be the easier option. I suppose it's a bit too obvious, isn't it? Actually, he's alright. Jay and I don't have an arrangement, so much as an unbreakable bond. We're actually siblings. Siblings? Now that you say it, I do see the rare resemblance. You two could be twins. I'm afraid my dear old brother is a bit overprotective. Refused to let me take this trip without escorts, even though I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. Oh, how sweet. You must love your little sister quite a lot. Don't be shy, brother. Tell him how much you love me. Just enough to keep myself from throwing off the train, I suppose. Another of your classic cheats. A little uncomfortable with the displays of affection. Good-looking, capable, and timid. What a tragedy that you tied up at the moment. I could tell this joke was beginning to irritate him. What a baby. I pushed him much further. He might confine me to the cabin for the rest of the trip. Decided to make our escape. Excuse us, ladies. I think it's time we make the rounds. Stood from my chair and mentioned for Jay to follow. Yes, of course, my dear. It's a long ride. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Bye, handsome. You're popular with all the ladies, aren't you, Jay? Wandered around the other cars, meeting and greeting anyone who looked particularly interesting or gullible. Jay trolled me the entire time, which made it difficult to endear myself to anyone. Not many people want to talk to a woman while a man glares at them over her shoulder. If you don't want to be here, you could just wait in the cabin. That'd make this much easier for me. What is this? I would hope you're not planning on doing anything as stupid as robbing someone on this train. We are fleeing the country, need I remind you. What would you have me do? Sit in the cabin, twiddle my thumbs? Yes, exactly that. Sit in the cabin with our suitcase that's already full of stolen jewelry. Shit, the jewels. Put the case in the cabin. What was I thinking? Got to go back, now. Forcibly grabs my arm and starts to pull me towards the end of the car. The case is fine. It's locked. The cabin is locked. And we both have keys. Train is full of some of the wealthiest people in this affair. What reason would they have to steal from us? Besides, there's security everywhere. You said so yourself. Jay pointed out earlier in the evening that a few of the attendants looked rather questionable. I suppose his line of work, it was necessary to be able to spot these sorts of threats. I was going to break into our room, but you intend to break into someone else's. I intend to be invited, actually. You're insane. Are you even listening to yourself? You need to calm down. The hard part is over. Our currently on a train headed for freedom, and no one is any the wiser. What about that man you recognize? He realizes who you are. And if he does, why would he connect 2 and 2? To him, I'll just be some rich girl he knew years ago who ran away from her father. Probably think you and I are eloping. And if he gets suspicious, I expect you'll be able to handle him. That's what you do, isn't it? Scout. You're overthinking this. If you're so worried about the case, then go back to the cabin and babysit it. Now, if you excuse me, I have some drunk rich people to impress with my charm and wit. I reached my arm from his grip and walked away, leaving him standing there alone. It's not the case I'm worried about. As night wore on, the crowd in the common areas thinned. I tend to avoid the man from this morning if I had to, but he had yet to turn up. I found myself back in a lounge car drinking with a small group of people. Current company was closer in age to me than those I dined with earlier. A much better crowd to work my magic on. I myself am excited to bring home some exotic fashion from Gales. I just love Galish styles. Did you know it's in vogue for women to have their hair short there? Like a man. Isn't that interesting? Fascinating. I looked at him for a moment and carried on with the conversation. I don't think I'd be brave enough for that. Can you imagine what people would say once I returned to this affair? You might be able to pull it off through, though, Robin. You have a soft, round face, so I think you still look very feminine. Not with that giant forehead of yours. Yeah, you're gonna make a jab at me every chance you get, can't you? So no one but me could hear, but I gave his foot a hard stomp anyway. To his credit, he tried to wince as covertly as possible. You flatter me, but I don't think I'll be cutting out my hair while I'm there. I'm petite already. I'll be afraid I'll be mistaken for a child. A child-dressed man who hardly said anything all evening spoke up. You don't have to worry about that. You're much too beautiful to be mistaken for anything other than the woman you are. My, you flatter, don't you? Jane tilted slightly in the seat beside me. This blatant flattery was likely making him suspicious. You would have to get used to it. Indeed, platitudes were commonplace with a crowd like this. Yes, I am rather beautiful, aren't I? I looked a little surprised I agreed. Perhaps he was used to his compliments being met with blushing denial. But I'm not like that. Mr. Rose, I do believe you are flirting. Just stating the obvious, though it seems Robin is already aware of her own assets. How straightforward. The elegant woman leaned towards me and spoke in a mock hushed tone. Mr. Rose is quite the eligible bachelor, Robin. Smart, hardworking, and dare I say handsome. Were I not already married, I'd be floating right back. Who said he'd be interested in you in the first place? Gave the man a playful swat in the arm. You should be kinder to your wife. Do you believe my wife is drunk? Group laughed. Rich bachelor, huh? Well, I think I know who I'm aiming for now. Appreciate the compliment, Mr. Rhodes. Smiled ever so slightly. You may call me Fletcher. Fletcher, then. There you are, Fletcher. I've been looking all over for you. Froze for a moment as a man's voice called from the car's entrance. As he approached the group, I gathered my composure. I thought you had said you were turning in for the night. Yes, hello again. Tended to, but on my way to the cabin, a couple of chatty women cornered me. Treated me to a few drinks, and now I'm feeling sociable again. Welcome back, detective. Uh-oh, he's a detective. That doesn't bode well for us. That makes situations even worse. Detective? Previously slouching from disinterest, Jay sat up and suddenly tucked one hand inside his jacket. Do you intend to shoot him right here in front of everyone? It's going to be a delicate situation. Hello again, and I see some new faces as well. Ah, yes, forgive me. Robin, Jay, this is Detective Wren. He's with the Aftercare police. Police? This isn't good. Is he here for me? Does he know what we've done? Wait, Wren? That's not the name of the boy I'm thinking of. Could I be wrong? Wren smiled at me and offered his hand. Mine was a buzz with 1,000 thoughts, but I kept my expression politely neutral. How do you do? Pleasure to meet you, Detective. Shook his hand and then he offered to Jay. I was still in his jacket. Jay didn't reciprocate. Instead, he gave him a stiff nod. Detective? Thankfully, Wren wasn't fazed. Still smiling, he nodded back and took a seat next to Fletcher. Detective, of course, he would be a detective. It was definitely the boy I remembered, but did he remember me too? Robin, huh? It's a pretty name. You know, Gales, they say is lucky to be named for a bird, though I never found it to be particularly helpful myself. Maybe that's because it's not your real name. I could tell he knew I was lying. He knew I knew he was lying. It was the same twinge of nostalgia that I felt on the platform. The long-forgotten feeling of rivalry that nothing else had been able to trigger. Had I been searching for that feeling this whole time? Corbett's considered especially lucky. Whoever gave you the name Jay must be quite fond of you. Made sense that Wren and I was using a fake name, but could he know Jay was fake as well? You mean my parents? Yes, I assume they were fond of me. Wren laughed. It was warm and genuine as I remembered. You're right. A bit of a silly thing to say, wasn't it? I suppose all parents are fond of their children. Anyway, pardon the intrusion. Please go back to whatever you were talking about before I rudely interrupted. Oh, we weren't talking about anything important. It was mostly just Mr. Rhodes and Robin flirting. Is that so? Lucky for Fletcher. I would have thought a woman as lovely as you would have been spoken for by now. By now? What is he implying? I'm recently single. I became single recently, actually. He's quite lucky indeed. Wren put his hand to his chin and smiled. I thought so. One as beautiful and charming as you wouldn't stay single for long, I suspect. Do you think your flowery words will hold my guard? Won't be distracted so easily. After all, we played this game before, haven't we, Detective? Rather charming yourself, aren't you? Sure you had all the girls swooning over you. Laughed again. Afraid I've never had much luck with women. I'm not very good at saying no, so I usually end up getting trampled on. But enough about me. I'm being honest, I assumed you and your friend Jay here were a couple. You seem to be assuming a lot of things. Jake let it run as though he were trying to bore a hole through him with only his eyes. It was Fletcher who finally broke the tension. You'll have to forgive the detective. He has a bad habit of turning conversation into interrogations. You're rude, aren't I? My apologies. I'm inquisitive by nature, so I can get a bit overzealous at times. Fletcher took another sip of his drink. I do hope I wasn't out of bounds in speaking so candidly to you, Robin. It'd be egregious to try and take something that already belongs to someone else. Tried to not show my displeasure at his phrasing, but it must have been apparent. I suppose that joke was in poor taste. You're not some man's property. I hope you'll forgive me. That's quite alright. You're forgiven. Let's not make that mistake again, shall we? Richard gave another slight smile and swirled the ice in his glass. Seemed to be finding this awkward conversation amusing. Sure, Robin and Jay are just acquaintances. I can't imagine she would be so cool as to flirt with another man right in front of her lover. Robin, you said Jay was your bodyguard. How long have you two known each other? Well, seeing as we're going on the story of brother and sister, quite a while. We've been together for quite some time now. You might even say we've been together your entire life, right? But it's only natural for a brother to want to protect his sister. You heard. Must be nice to have such strong sibling bonds. I have to say I'm jealous. I'm an only child myself. Siblings. So sorry. Once again, my information comes from gossip. I suppose I must come off as quite a stalker. That's putting it lightly. Yes, Jay's my older brother. Older, huh? Not to be rude once again, but I have to say he looks a bit younger than you. You don't say. You should take that as a compliment, brother, since we already established I'm quite young myself. Truthfully, I had no say how old Jay actually was. I made a mental note to ask him later. Can't be dangerous for a woman to travel alone, so he's accompanying me as protection. An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. It is the first train out of the country. Imagine there are a number of ill-intentioned people here. Oh my, I should hope not. Tickets were very expensive for the main voyage. I wouldn't think criminals would be able to afford them. You have an innocent heart, man. No criminals are only burglars or pickpockets. Ren, there's no need to scare our travelling companions with your pessimism. Right, I suppose selecting the worst is part of the job description. Please ignore me. Journey is probably quite safe. Anyway, are you ladies planning on doing anything interesting in Gales? My husband and I are going on holiday. I find Gales culture quite fascinating. Did you know some Gaelish practice witchcraft? They say the world used to be rife with the occult. Fletcher Scott. Simple folk tales. If witches really existed, I think at least some of them would be seen as fair as well. No, it's true. In fact, we'll be arriving at the start of their autumn festival. It's a celebration of the harvest season, as well as all things magical. The name escapes me now, but it was something rather macabre. I'd heard of the harvest festival before, but I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was called. It was something to do with scarecrows, I think. Let's give an answer, sure. Can't recall the exact name, but I'm certain it had the word scarecrow in it. That's right, you've actually been to Gales before, haven't you, Robin? Yeah, probably good we did that then. He closed his eyes and thought. Yes, it was something like that, wasn't it? It was called the Scarecrow's Feast. Yes, that's it. So you know your Gaelic history, Mr. Rhodes. You're very excited, aren't we, honey? My husband was long since passed out, sat slouched in his chair snoring. He was bored to tears. How about you, Robin? Will you be on holiday as well? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, right. We're on business, so we'll be too busy. Festival sounds well and good, but I'm afraid I'll be short on time while I'm there, travelling for business. Oh, that's right, dog shoes. As I suspected, Ron already was aware of what I told the Lynn from dinner. Yeah, so we had to keep in mind of what we told other people to not seem suspicious in any way. dog shoes? Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. The shop makes custom shoes for dogs. Traveling to Gales in hopes of opening a second boutique. That's a genius idea. Wonder how the process differs from making shoes for people. You'll have to enlighten me. Of course, some other time maybe. But able to travel such an interesting place is a privilege. I wish I could attend as well. Will you not be staying in Gales, Detective? Sadly, no. I'll be returning home immediately when we reach our destination. But business is here, on the train. Oh my, has something happened with one of our passengers? Sure, there's nothing you need to worry about. Now, Fletcher, that's not entirely correct. Truth is, I'm here as part of a murder investigation. Uh-oh. Moon gasped dramatically, and his cheerful demeanor became something more serious. Hands still in his jacket, Jay made to stand up. Robin, I think it's time we... Murder? Really? Are you allowed to talk about it? Cut across Jay so that he couldn't suggest we leave. Do you have any idea how suspicious that would look? Use that thick head of yours. Reflected, Jay slowly sat back down. His eyes remained fixed on the detective. Yes, I'd like to hear about this as well. Is there anyone we would know? We're not in danger, are we? I think a woman leaned in as though she was about to hear a particularly juicy piece of gossip. For his early insistence that the detective was fear-mongering, Fletcher seemed interested as well. He glanced around the car as though making sure no one was listening in. Most of the other passengers had returned to their cabin by now. Only a few attendants remained with us. We heard of a man named Bertram Sullivan. All of a sudden the colour more drained from my body. The room began to spin. Charlie gripped the arm of my chair and willed myself to focus. Be the end if I passed out here. Keep it together. But yes, he's a famous jeweller. I do believe he is retired now though. Actually, he's dead. He was found in his home just a few days ago. So I could practically feel Jay fighting with himself not to jump up and strangle the detective right there and then. How awful. Rather odd though. Are you sure it was a murder? Quite sure. Last I heard, gunshot wounds weren't a symptom of aging. No, but they can be a symptom of a weak will. Heard through the grapevine that it's believed he committed suicide. That is the leading theory, yes, but Mr. Sullivan was extremely wealthy and, dare I say, notorious man. I think there are many people who would want him dead. Notorious? In what way? I always heard good things about him. Yes, to the general public, Mr. Sullivan appeared to be a well-meaning philanthropist. In private, however, I was well aware what Bertram Sullivan was like in private. A monster. Rather depraved. Apparently it was well-known secret in his social circles that, despite having a wife, Mr. Sullivan often enjoyed the company of beautiful young women. Women who would mysteriously disappear when he grew tired of them. That's terrible, Detective. But it's bad luck to speak ill of the dead, no matter what sort of depravity they indulge in. Maybe so, but as I said before, my luck has never been great to begin with. As a man of the law, I can't abide by such disgusting behaviour. Yet here you are investigating his murder. Tell me, Detective, find him so reprehensible, why even bother? Rain arched his brows and gave me a sly smile. Are you suggesting, Millie, that I should ignore such a tantalizing puzzle because of my own personal feelings for those involved? Personal feelings, eh? Mr. Sullivan is as bad as you say. Perhaps your efforts would be better spent elsewhere? Are there more important things you could be devoting your time to? I like to think I'm more complicated than that. That's why I enjoy tormenting you so much. No fun when everyone lets you do as you please. Mr. Sullivan was a vile man, but whoever killed him committed a crime as well. And so they did so knowing the police would come looking for them. As a detective, I'm constantly at odds with criminals I pursue, and I don't like losing. In this case, go cold just because its victim was a terrible person would be the same as conceding defeat. Speak as though you see all this as a game. Oh, I most certainly do. One I tend to win. And if the criminal wins, thought for a moment, then I suppose they deserve their freedom. Everyone was stunned. No one commits a crime without reason. Able to beat me at my own game, maybe they were in the right after all. Not very morale, detective. No, but it was fair, wouldn't you say? The question was posed to the group at large, but Ren's eyes were on me alone. Rules are arbitrary, I guess. I already knew how I felt about rules in games. Can speak the secret language of yours too. Actually, I have to agree. Also written by those in power, but that doesn't necessarily make them right. There have been many corrupt rulers throughout history. Plenty of just criminals. Take Robin Hood for instance. Ren's eyes sparkled with intrigue. She used the absence of the king to impose his own selfish will over the townsfolk, but Robin knew it was wrong. He was breaking the law, but that made him a hero. I should have guessed a girl named Robin would be quite taken with the idea of a righteous gentleman thief. Though, I suppose that makes me the sheriff of this situation. I just think I am the good guy here. I think the both of you are rather depraved yourselves. I suppose you're right, though I never claimed to be completely innocent. Ren laughed, and when he spoke again, he was back to his congenial self. One opinionated group. Glad to say not to turn in early after all. That was all wonderfully melodramatic, detective, but what does it have to do with you being on the train? Alright, the most important part. According to those close to him, Mr. Sullivan was in possession of a Whirlwind Express ticket. Currently, he was planning on transporting some pieces of his personal jewelry collection to Gales, possibly to sell. We couldn't find either the ticket or the intended pieces when we investigated his home. This is getting awkward. Jay and I shared the slice of glances. How did they know about the jewels? If that's true, then I should think it would be very easy to find a culprit. You could just simply check the passenger list and the current passengers. Whoever is out of place is the murderer. That would be a brilliant idea, except there is no such list. Train's benefactor made it so the passengers are able to remain anonymous. I suppose he wanted to protect the privacy of his patrons. Well, perhaps you could search the passenger's luggage for the missing jewelry pieces. If only we could, but that would be violating the fiery privacy laws to do so without just cause. If someone was especially suspicious, so I could catch them in lies. I had the authority to search them then. So that's how it is. Sounds like you have your work cut out for you then, detective. Can't believe the safari police are plagued by so much red tape. Many of my colleagues would agree with you. But personally, I don't mind. All games have their own rules. Anyway, I hope you ladies will stay safe. Please try not to associate with anyone who seems particularly suspicious. Even ourselves. They glanced around the room, his eyes lingered for just a second too long on Jay. Quickly breaking eye contact, Ren stood up and stretched. Now, I'm afraid I socialized after death. I think I'll turn in for the night. Turned to me and gave a nervous smile. Starting a dark conversation right after meeting must have scared you ladies. Hope we can still be friends. Sure we can be friends. up well, and now that I was so close to him, it was obvious how much he had grown since I'd last seen him. Have you always been this handsome? Perhaps I wasn't old enough to notice before. Offered him my hand, which he gladly took. I never stopped being friends, Detective. The moment he looked genuinely overjoyed. His grip on my hand tightened ever so slightly. I'm happy to hear you say that. You know, Detective, I'm quite fond of games myself. Is that so? Nolan leaned in close, whispering in his ear. And I don't like to lose either. I tickled his neck, caused him to shiver. Maybe if you're feeling stuck, the two of us can discuss this puzzle of yours together. Two heads are better than one, as they say. I shall take you up on that. Good night, Ren. Good night, Robin. Let go of his hand and headed for the door. Jay followed close behind me. Well, this was quite the predicament, but I'm actually going to end it here, because I've been got a little bit too invested with the story, and we've been going on for quite a while, because still got other games that I need to play, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be coming back to this game, because, man, I invested in the story and its characters, because very well written, and yeah, very much enjoying it. But if you guys want to go ahead and check this game out for yourself, link will be down in the description below as always, and with that we'll be moving on to the next game.